Hello, you join me on a non-functioning travelator at Amsterdam Schiphol Airport, looking for a plane to go to Norwich to join in with a stag do.
Welcome to another episode of Toby Stupid Vlog.
Never thought I'd be glad to be in Norwich. Some ruins. So I'm checked in Travelodge. It is as glamorous as you can imagine. Alan Partridge would be hugely jealous of the high quality teas and coffees available. And now let's go for a drink, because frankly it's what now? It's 7 o'clock, so I've been travelling for about 11 hours, so I couldn't possibly need a drink more. Very cool cabbie, but what he said to me, he said, Norwich is alright if you've never been here before. What a ringing endorsement. I can't wait. I mean, this just looks like any other town centre, to be honest.
I'm not actually Ed Sheeran. Yes, you are.
Your T-shirt disagrees strongly with your statement.
I was kind of wrong at the beginning of it. Is that a speech? That's what I'm doing at the wedding. Cheers! That's one way to win the sweepstake. He's out. One night. I'm just going to call it. Who's going to call it? Oh, shit! Oh, hey! Tom's going. Time you start. Oh, you start?
Club in Norwich, obviously. Apparently it's Rick and Morty themed. We've seen a pickle Rick and an actual Rick. Beyond that, it's very hard to say what's going on definitively. Haven't had enough sleep or enough anything, frankly. But it's very good fun. This is what old men do when they're in an indie club, but they're twice as old as the average person that's coming to dance. They try and beat the pinball machine and feel better about themselves. Good morning. I'm feeling a bit rough, which isn't really surprising. And I think only Ben and Jamie are up, the two that I legged it with last night at about 2 o'clock. Everyone else came in about 3. So now I'm off to find some sort of breakfast related something or other and try and wake up. That could be a bit more challenging, if I'm honest.
No, it's just the sit back extension style moves on
Yeah.
LVs and links.
I mean, it's just uncanny.
Africa, particularly like 90s movies.
It's like touring with the Spice Girls.
Toto Africa, that was great.
So we've done some quasar, and now everyone looks ridiculous and sweaty, as opposed to just ridiculous. So Dell's looking resplendent in his Jerry Halliwell outfit. The giant gingerness of it can be seen from space.
Motorboat. I fancy some kind of pirate endeavour in the canoe.
What a motorboat was.
Yeah. I just wonder what he's going to Barcelona about. What's he going to swap to
Dell has 10 challenges that he has to achieve by the end of today.
Yes.
And a pen to tick them off with. So we've paddled about 40 minutes down river from there. Some of us are dry, some of us are less dry. there was a slight incident with a bit of swimming. Jerry looks alright though, so that's what's important. This is one of Dell's challenges. He's ticking off. What a canvas to work with though. I mean, that's... Yeah, a little. I mean, Del, let's be honest. This is a long way from the first time you wore makeup, isn't it? Yeah, it really is. Right, if that doesn't stop anyone watching Frozen ever again, then literally nothing will.
The casting for the sequel right now.
Yes,
It's an audition.
we need ideally a ginger man, approximately 6'4", to play the female lead.
It's animation. Anybody can do it.
We've made it to the other end with no further capsize incidents.
Well done, boys.
Congratulations on your newfound dryness.
Wow.
Not yet.
Mild dampness.
Musty.
Yeah. Good work. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Good morning from slightly grey Norwich. I'm going for a little wander. Take a couple of photos and what have you. I had to pack it in about 1 o'clock last night because I was just walking dead at that point. Like I just hit a wall. I couldn't deal with it anymore. I couldn't stand up. My body was failing me, so I had to collapse. And it does mean I actually got some reasonable sleep last night. So I'm not feeling terrible, or at least I'm feeling a hell of a lot better than I did yesterday. So that's why I've come out for a little stroll before we all get together and have breakfast. Done a nice little walk, seeing the cathedral and lots of churches and the castle. And here's a bit of a wall, which is rather good. And just next door to our glamorous and glorious travel lodge, we've been staying here. Time to check out and go home and sleep. Here's the castle, and here are the survivors. We're down to 9. Ben got an earlier train. The rest of us are now walking wounded. So, being middle-aged men, we've come into an antiques fair in a deconsecrated church. And we're loving it. We've moved on from an antiques fair to Oxfam bookshop. It's getting intense.
Yeah, Ben tried to nudge you again. Oh, Ben.
I'm back in London. For the first time in, I don't know, it's only like 10 days, but it feels like an eternity. It's been a lot of cities and a lot of different countries and a lot of planes and trains between then and now. So I'm going to walk to the district line and then sit down a bit more, get a train home and then finally relax. And they're going to work obviously tomorrow. That's the perfect way to wind down. After 2 days working in central London, any semblance of holiday has been wiped away, and just for added benefit, now I've got a massive rainstorm that's covering most of southeast England, just to remind us that this is August in the United Kingdom. It's great. Good afternoon. It is Friday. That came around fast, largely because Monday and Tuesday I was spent frankly being rather spaced out about being back, having gone on a very short trip to Switzerland and then been in Norwich for a couple of days. So it does mess with your sort of internal clock a bit. And I've been working most of the day since. I've been working every day since, actually, either at USP on Monday and Tuesday and yesterday, or home on Wednesday and today. So I've kind of hit the ground running.
So there we go. Now, it is supposed to brighten up a little bit this afternoon, so we are going to pop back into Kew because it's been 2 weeks, and that's a very long time in my mind. So I'm going to go in, take a camera, and kind of try and enjoy myself this afternoon. But first of all, I've got to finish off doing this video for Adam and Tom and what have you. So that is my workload for today. I hope you'll join me in Kew, but I won't bore you with my work up until then.
There were a lot of plums on the trees before I went to Switzerland, and now there are none. Which only means one thing: so either somebody has come and picked them, taken them away and eaten them, or the birds have. But it was apparently a really good plum year everywhere, so everyone had lots of plums on their trees all over the UK. Good plum update for you there. Anyway, despite that large grey cloud, I'm heading into Kew. Everything changes through the year, flowers come and go, leaves change colour, etc. So it's nice to come back in, even though, you know, English summer is doing its best impression of English autumn. When the sun comes out, it's still really warm, and you still get that nice smell of the grass that you do in summertime. So we got all of our photos from the wedding this time last week. I think I was technically in Switzerland when they arrived. There's 936 photos, which is quite a lot of photos. We've looked through all of them. They're amazing. Almost all of them, without exception, are amazing actually. And they are up on a website. I'm trying to work out whether I'm going to share that information with you. Maybe I will, maybe I won't, we'll see. But there's probably too many that you wouldn't frankly be interested in. If you know me personally anyway, and if you came to the wedding, I've probably already sent you the link. But suffice to say, it just made me appreciate what an amazing place to get married this is, and how very grateful I am. And it's now 3 months, well, it was on Sunday, 3 months since the wedding already, which is quite remarkable really. In slightly more sombre news, and I won't dwell on this, but since the wedding we've lost 3 people, which is incredibly sad. One of them came to the wedding, a good friend of the family, a very good friend of the family, someone I've known since I was born, and someone who used to watch these vlogs, God only knows why, but there we go. As well as my uncle, who was invited to the wedding, but we never thought he'd actually make it because he was quite frail at the time. And in the last week, also a board colleague of mine, rather unexpectedly, at a very young age. In fact, all of them were a bit too young, to be honest. Even my uncle, who was in his 80s, was, until quite recently, a pretty lively chap. So it's been quite a difficult few months, and you might have heard me alluding to this over the last few weeks. So there's why. So it's always a good place to come to clear your head here in Kew. Slowly being revealed here, ready for this time next year when it opens properly, as does that giant looking loo roll at the end. I may have mentioned this 3 years ago when they started this process, but this was last restored in 1983, which isn't actually that long ago if you think about, you know, the lifespan of these glass houses. And the guy who restored it in 1983 said at the time it was such a massive endeavour. He said, "I'm never doing that again," and he's still here and he's doing it again. So I've got to feel slightly sorry for him. It's quite an expensive project each time, and clearly quite a stressful one. I mean, in another 30 years time I'd be very surprised if he was still here, but there we go, you never know, maybe that's what he lives to do. There are a lot of mushrooms out at the moment, which kind of goes to show how wet it's been recently. Wet and warm, which is what mushrooms really like. But I mean, it's the beginning of August, it's a bit early. So I've been taking pictures of them, because why not? Mushrooms growing out of signposts, mushrooms growing in the redwood forest, mushrooms growing behind me under rhododendrons. It's making me a little bit peckish, if I'm honest. Love mushrooms. I'm right down by Queen Charlotte's cottage, And this is the bit I call the secret back garden, because it is a little patch of grass that you're not technically supposed to get to because it's on the other side of the fence, but it's surrounded by blackberries on every side, and it's August and they're ripe and it's amazing. More mushrooms, they're everywhere. Some of them are probably edible, but I'm not going to try it out. So I'm going to complete my steps for the day, because the last few days have been very sedentary and that has not worked for me, especially following on from quite an active week in Switzerland. So I'm going to do a full loop. So while I do my steps, it being Friday evening, I will bid you good night. Thanks for watching. Hope you'll join me next week, where there's babysitting galore, parental meetups and work. I realise I'm not selling it that hard, but trust me, it will be fun, because the weather's going to improve and I'm going to get to go out and about. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you've enjoyed it, and click the like button so I know that you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you next week.